R&B Money. We up. Tank. J Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? My name is Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast.
Yeah.
The authority
Yeah.
That's right.
on all things R&B.
Yeah.
Oh my God. In the building.
Gumbo himself.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead and mix that thing up.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. You want all the ingredients?
Oh man. And that's all I'm gonna say. PJ Morton, ladies and gentlemen.
PJ Morton.
Oh my God.
PJ
Good
Morton.
to be with
Oh,
y'all, man.
my God.
Good to be with y'all,
Bro,
man.
you so
the
cold.
authorities. You know what I'm saying?
You so cold.
Thank you, man.
Like-
Thank you.
Like cold. Like there's levels to cold, right? Cold is like Donny Hathaway. Cold is like Stevie Wonder.
Man.
Cold is like Eric Dawkins.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're like all of that weaved into one human being with a beanie on.
Wow.
It's sick.
man.
Yeah, nah, you special,
Nah,
bro.
man, coming from you, who is cold, cold. I mean, you know
I know
cold
cold when I smell
because I mean,
Yes, sir. It's
You're
a
of it.
cloth.
Huh?
It's a cloth.
you're of it, and so I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it just being in the same room. You know, I don't know if I told you. I feel like I told you when I was doing the show during the pandemic, when I was doing the game show or whatever. But I met you at a super pivotal time in my life when my freshman year at Morehouse. I moved to Atlanta. And my boy Chuck took me to Noontime.
Wow. Yeah.
Took me to Noontime. JQ is his brother. That's his older brother. John Tay was there. Jazzy Faye was there. You know, B. Cox was there. Donnie Scance, who became my man, was there. And I walked in there and he said she shakes for $1. I was like, still like to holler. I was like, wait, what? I mean, that night, and it feels like one night. I can't remember if it was one night or a time frame. But me walking through Noontime literally changed my life because I was coming from New Orleans where there was a bunch of music, but there was no music industry. And I was seeing these dudes, every room you went in, you heard music and were inspired. And you were the first artist I walked in and I was like, oh my God, what are we doing? This is how this go?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And you might have had maybe I deserve it that you might in that era. I don't know. But it was that vibe. It was
I wasn't out
joint.
yet.
No, you weren't out. No,
you
you
weren't even
weren't
out yet
out.
back
I
in
wasn't
the
even
Noontime
out.
days?
No, I'm saying I might have
And-
heard that record, early on.
I did it in 90. When did I do the record? Like 98 or something like that.
Okay,
Maybe I
yeah.
deserve.
So I got
Yeah,
that was
so it probably was
that was
sitting there.
before I got
Listen,
there.
bro.
Yeah.
I wrote that record, Shakes for Dollars. It is a Noontime classic.
Yes,
It's a
yes, it
Noontime.
is.
Noontime changed my life.
Yeah.
So by the way, we share that.
Word.
Right?
Special
So,
place.
And Donnie Scance became my man.
Yes.
Like one of my
I
best
became
friends.
his
from-
guy.
Yeah, so cool.
Yeah.
man.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Such a
I
cool
became
dude.
Scance guy. That's one of my senseis.
Listen,
you know?
bro.
Yeah.
that Shakes for Dollars record came about from me going to Atlanta strip clubs
Right.
for the first time
Yeah.
with all of $60.
Yeah, it wasn't
$60.
raining.
It was no. It wasn't
all of.
because it hadn't started raining then. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
so working those
Light
22 ones,
Light
it had none of that.
Now 60 is not quite a
couldn't-
drizzle.
This was 90, 98, 99. No
Oh, yeah,
drizzle.
BMF had not come
no.
to
It was
Atlanta
so
yet.
so my 31s like it looked like something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
And
that was you and Friday?
that was
When
me
you turned
flipping it
money
up, turn the
Big
money
word?
over. I had to make this work.
Okay.
And I
Gotta
saw
make it
a
stretch
girl
out. Yeah.
in Goosebumps that I was in love with.
Wow.
Like, I like you, and I'll be back tomorrow
I'll be back tomorrow with another hot 30.
with another hot 30.
I love you.
When it's under 100, it's hot.
It's hot.
I love you.
And I'm
Yeah.
hoping
Sunshine.
I'm hoping that our conversation about her goals and our aspirations and my goals and aspirations can lead to us somehow being together.
Of course.
And if somehow her goals and aspirations still, the desires are still for her to be in this place, that's fine.
Yeah.
This nigga was
That's
the
fine.
MLK of Goosebumps.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'll
Yeah.
work with you.
Trying to free a nation, man.
I'll drop you
What?
off.
Yeah.
I'll pick you up.
Yes. Yes.
Just
You're willing.
Just
You're-
be with me.
And only me.
And all-
Can you promise me that?
Since you started with that damn record, man, you took him back to the place.
I'm sorry, man. Yeah. It sound like true love, man. Sound like true love. Like,
I used to fall in love
Yeah.
in the strip club.
Yeah.
I had a song called I Always Seem to Fall in Love in the strip club.
oh, well, there it is.
And I don't know what it was. And it wasn't like I'm in this strip club and I need to get something out of here and tap it up and you know what I'm saying, and be on like some ogre savage type
Not
shit.
love.
No, love.
Yeah.
They was dancing and throwing hips
I
around
know
and titties.
exactly who you are.
And I was looking in their
You
eyes.
the nigga that followed Diamond home in
I ain't
Players
followed
Club.
nobody home.
I saw the look in your eyes just
I
now.
had to look in my eyes. I thought about it, but I ain't following nobody home, Jay.
Don't be him.
You didn't get jealous though when it was.
He was jealous. Dang. When they had to go to the next nigga who had more than 30.
and I was kind of watching.
Oh my God. I gotta figure out the nigga name.
I was kind of watching
in
her.
the
She
Players
was
Club.
giving him more gyrates than she gave him.
Wait a minute. That can't be the love of my life. It can't be. Can't be. That can't be. Not my lady.
Not my cinnamon.
Not my lady.
Not my cinnamon.
Can't be. Can't
She
be.
told me her real name. She told me her real name.
What is a real cinnamon?
Not my cinnamon.
Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Other
I
girls
was
would
saying-
come over and ask me if I want to dance. Like, no, I'm here with somebody.
I'm taken. You were taken. Tank, you were taken. That's crazy, man. Yeah.
There's something wrong with you.
But shakes for dollars.
That's
though.
if we can get back there.
Right. But
Oh,
that's
man.
that's when I met you. That's when I met you.
That
I was
is crazy.
Freshman in
Yeah.
college and just figuring it out.
What a time in
um,
Atlanta, though, at that time.
Oh man, it was special, bro.
Special.
It was special. I just fell right in it. You know what I'm
And shout
saying?
out to Noontime. I gotta give Noontime a special shout out, man,
Yeah.
because just in terms of how they were making their records, the amount of talent that they had up there, sharing and collaborating.
True collaboration.
You know what I'm saying? Like true collaborations. Like this was the first time I had seen producers share sounds like this.
Mm-hmm.
They was like, "Oh, you got to get this new stick. It's crazy. And everybody passing the disc around. Oh, this new kick. Oh, this new. Psst.
Yeah.
That's the Noontime
I
sound.
had
That
them
little
all. I had
crash
them
right
all.
there.
Oh yeah, I had them all. Yeah.
The stick from the Planet Fat. That's the Noontime stick.
Yeah.
Word.
Like they were making this magic together and creating an identity that was Noontime.
Very Motown-ish because you could. That's what I'm saying. If you were stuck, you go in another room
Right.
and it's like
Right.
you hearing something that you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was special. Like everybody had their own thing. So for me, that was brand new. Because when I was growing up, I was the only person I knew like me. You know what I'm saying? Like wanting to make records that were gonna be on the radio. You know, it was like either you wanted to be in jazz in New Orleans or you know. A rapper, I wasn't either, so I just didn't really, find a place there until I got to Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, PJ,
Let's go back to
let's go back to New Orleans. Let's go back to the beginning.
NO.
yeah.
Because there had to somebody looked at you and said, "That boy there, got it.
Man.
He can do it, and he got it." When was that, and when was the time that you actually felt like that?
Well, I'm a preacher's kid, and not just a preacher's kid, but my father was a singer, is a singer, like a for real singer, no play. And so our church was very musical, like the musicians he brought in, I mean, it was like top notch. It was like serious. We started making records like in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? And so I had a lot of it around me. So my family was the family that pushed you. If they saw it, they like, Oh, PJ playing. You know, my dad said he prayed over my hands. So 8 years old is when I start playing. Like when I felt like I was playing. 14 is when I remember saying, okay, I'm like, I can play.
There.
I'm nice.
I can play.
Yeah.
I didn't want to sing for a long time. Keys was kind of like my comfort zone.
So you're
And-
not singing during this time? You're
not really. I had a solo probably at 10 years old. Humble yourself, with the youth choir, But like I didn't want to sing. Once I started playing, I was like, nah, this is all I want to do. And the way I started singing was I wanted to hear. I started hearing harmonies and stuff in my head, and I'm like writing these songs at 14 and 15, and I was like, I just want to hear them. So I would go to the studio and like just record them. I had an SY85 and I started sequencing on that Yamaha joint, and I took it to the studio. I remember I would pay my own money. Literally, I didn't have any concept of placing songs. I didn't know how the industry worked. It just wasn't around. And I let my best friend hear one of those songs. Kenneth and his brother Brian was in Ministander. He was 15 years old.
Wow.
And he was like, you should let Brian hear this. They just started a group because they were on the road
So
doing
you're writing
sneaky.
gospel songs?
Yeah, I didn't know where R&B songs would play, so I didn't let nobody hear those at that point. I was writing them. I thought I wanted to write for Brian McKnight. I'm like, I don't know, but I think
14.
I can.
At
Yeah,
14.
that's where I was. Like I
Yeah.
skipped because Stevie was the first thing that came to me like really young, and I became obsessed. Like at 13, I became obsessed. So I wasn't necessarily listening to what was popular at the time.
So
but
you're
I
not
was
listening to the kid groups that you didn't want to write for them.
Not
You're gonna
really.
write. You're gonna jump
Yeah,
right
I'm
to
like,
Brian
yeah,
McKnight.
Yeah, I think I could do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I had no idea what that
That's a
meant.
cold confidence.
But Ken let Brian hear that song, and they recorded that on their Feels Like Rain album. So I was 15. I remember I had to bring the CD to school because they didn't believe me. I'm like, yo, I wrote a song for a real person. And I brought the CD cover there to show them that
your name was on it.
Yeah, and then I got a check, and I was like, wait, I could do this and get a money? Like, and
you
so
had no concept of it at all.
no, I didn't know. I didn't know at all. I was like, they want to do my song? J Moss, Pajam was producing it. PDA and J Moss, they produced it. And I always tell this story because it's funny because my SY85 would cut out if it was overload, like sequencing, right? So you go from the hook to the verse. And sometimes if it's too many sounds at the one,
Absolutely.
it would drop out.
It'll get
right?
tricky. Real tricky.
And PDA and they dropped out. They did a break. And I said, in my 15-year-old brain, I said, oh, I'm a producer. Like they did my mistake over. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that was it, man.
That's
I was
crazy.
like, and so to your point, gospel music was the lowest hanging fruit for me. That's what was around me. Like I said, my dad was making records, all of that. So I was writing for the church and stuff until I moved to Atlanta in college. And that's my junior years when I linked up with NDRE. And that's my first placement, like mainstream placement when she was on Motown. But so I guess 14 was like when I started playing the House of Blues, Sunday brunch, playing for different groups. Again, wasn't singing. Singing was like not on my, I was too shy. I used to shake. My dad asked me to sing in church. My hand would be shaking. I didn't want to be in front of people. I tried to be in the back for so long.
You still weren't singing at 14, 15?
Nah, just to myself, but not out to people. Nah, I was terrified, man, until my dad asked me to sing a solo. And I did it for him, and then I was like, I like this. I'm just scared, you know what I'm saying? But when I went to college, I got to kind of reinvent myself or see myself in a different light, because I was just Paul Morton's son, in New Orleans. I was just, it was a huge shadow. So like I got to just restart, and Atlanta is when I started to like think about being an artist at all, yeah.
That's crazy. At 14, what? That's ninth grade, right?
Yeah. 8th, 9th grade, yeah.
Yeah, ninth grade. I sang in front of them girls. I sang that gospel song in front of them women.
Yeah.
And went to that Howard Hewitt, no, and they started screaming.
It just
I said, this is a different Holy Spirit. this is wet.
Holy Spirit. With a WH.
It's got some oil on it already.
Yeah. That was playing to me, but the singing, I just was not. I didn't care at that point. Yeah,
I was playing.
So you
and
did
singing.
you did none of the talent shows, nothing. You didn't do any of those things in high school.
Nah, I skipped all of that stuff. I mean, my dad's church was such a popping spot like that. It was almost like I was in the middle of all of it anyway.
Right.
Like all the musicians would come to my dad's church Sunday nights and sit around and around the musicians. And you know, so I was like, I was in it.
You felt like a professional already.
Yeah, I did, because that was a professional job. Like if you got a job as a musician at my dad's church, that was like you were really somebody.
One of them guys.
Yeah, you were one of them.
So like, I'm really puzzled by you still not singing at 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
Because like in your mind, as you're going through the progressions of becoming a really dope musician, are you also in your mind developing yourself vocally and just nobody knows?
Yeah, just kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like even I remember my mom saying like, yeah, you don't think about just writing songs? You know, my voice was changing probably. You know, I'm just like, nah, this ain't it for me. You know, and playing fulfilled me so much. Like just being in the band that was my biggest dream. I just wanted to play for an artist who performed on the Grammys. Like that was it. That was my dream. No records, no writing. It was like, yo, that's it. If I could get in this person's band, you know what I'm saying? So the singing though for me was like behind the scenes. I started to, like I said, around 13 is when Stevie, and then probably one of my earliest records CDs I bought was like Brandy or something, you know? And I started seeing like, okay, because I always felt like what was current wasn't singers in my mind, you know, as a kid. I was like, that ain't really that don't move me. So I didn't really want to be like a current singer or anything like that.
Wow.
So I never thought of it that way, because then it fast tracked though.
I was about to say, because it happened, because it had to happen quickly.
Yeah.
In terms of once you come out and decide to get the confidence to sing, like this just don't come out of nowhere.
Right. So I tried to start a band in college, and I was still trying to be the background, but I wanted a Black Beatles so bad. Like the Beatles, I was a huge fan, and I'm like, yo, it was dope because they all were sweet at singing, and those harmonies were crazy. So I'm like, I'm gonna be the keyboard player and sing, you know, in the back, and then there's gonna be a lead singer. And I couldn't get anybody to commit, and that's when I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna just sing these songs.
It's got to be me.
It's just got to be me. Like it was purely necessity though. It was not because I wanted to be there. And then it went fast. And then my dad, I remember my first show, my dad came to Atlanta in Little 5 Points at this place called 7 Stages. I was opening up it was me and Algebra. And my dad saw me perform, and I was like talking and like, he's like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this person? That's like looking like they're comfortable on stage, because we had Wednesday nights at Apache, which was like open mic night, and then we like it was a special time in Atlanta at that time. So you had the noontime and JD and all of that stuff was happening, but you also had the class after NDRE and Donnie, who was on Motown, and they had these Wednesday nights that became like really special. I mean, first time I saw Janelle Monáe was at Apache, you know, when she was in college, when we were both in college. It was just that special. And that's when I started developing like, okay, I'm new. They didn't know me, so they didn't know I didn't sing before. It was like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
And you weren't living in any form of a shadow there.
Yeah, it was no shadow. I could create.
PJ.
Yeah.
For them.
Yeah.
Instead of this is Paul's son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, that gives you a different type of freedom.
No, it's true, and that's what it did for me in Atlanta. So I always say I'm a New Orleans boy through and through, but as far as like, being support for me becoming an artist and like giving me, because it was a very supportive environment for artists. Atlanta is what bred me like as an artist for 100%, as a writer, everything like. Atlanta was really the place that developed me in that.
It's just always been so many dope people in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. It's musical.
It's probably because there's so many churches.
That too.
That too. Yeah.
In Atlanta. Mm-hmm. Like you find a real diamond in the rough down there that has no idea what they are in one of those open mic. Just monsters.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, it's church.
Absolutely, it's church.
It's church. That's
It's
fine
rooted in that.
tuning.
When people ask me about R&B and the state of R&B, I said it changed when grandmothers stopped making these kids go to church.
100%.
That's when R&B changed.
I didn't get it.
100%.
Yeah. I didn't get it till I moved home, because when I came to LA, I ain't really go to church. You know, it wasn't really the same culture of like,
It's not.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I lost some of it. Like, I didn't realize it till I moved back to New Orleans and I was in my parents' church, and I'm like, oh, this is where I used to write them songs. Like,
Yeah.
it used to just hit me. I mean, in R&B songs, you know, like my dad knows I'd be on the organ behind him while he talking, and you know, and I'm back there writing songs because something about the environment and like the spirit of what was going on was just inspiration, nonstop. And that soul, that same thing you needed to move church is the same thing we need to move in the R&B audience.
Absolutely.
It's no different. It's what comes from the heart, you know what I'm saying, reaches the heart. And so like when you in that environment, that schooled me, man. It schooled me, and I agree with you. Like, that's where we lost some of that soul in R&B when the church thing started to change, you know.
Yeah, no, I got plucked
That's a
right
fact.
out of church.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how long are you in Atlanta before you said you got your first placement? But how long are you in Atlanta before you get your break, where it's like, okay, I'm really like this. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. Did you finish at Morehouse?
I finished at Morehouse, got my degree in marketing.
Nice.
Okay,
And,
so it all makes sense then. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. You've been able to
that
do your
really
thing.
came into play. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm so happy I did that. When I graduated, so when I was in school, I would get these calls to like go on tour because I was a keyboard player and people knew that. But I was like, let me just finish school. But right out of college, I went on tour with Erykah Badu
Nice.
as her keyboard player.
that's your first-
That was
Your
my very
first
first
tour?
tour. Very first tour.
Hold on. How did you get to Erykah?
And did you look her in the eyes?
Yeah. Yeah.
I did, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. No, I love Erykah, but no, for real, I was scared. I was kind of like, the first rehearsal, she just came and said, yo, if you need anything, I was just like, I didn't want to look directly. I was like, nah, I appreciate Ms. Badu, I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? But no, it couldn't have been a better first tour experience.
How'd you
Like,
get the gig?
Oh, so the guy who gave me the cassette tape with Donnie Live on it and gave me a cassette tape with I Ain't Never Dream You Leaving Somewhere, they put me on my Stevie, Gino Igerhart. His dad was my dad's best man in his wedding. Became Erykah Badu's music director when I was at Morehouse. And he was like, P, you want to come out? And I'm like, man, I'm in school. And it came back around right when I was graduating. And Gino took me out, man. And it was like my first time on a tour bus. Low key, my first time missing church, like
How old
missing
were
a
you?
Sunday.
How old were you?
This is college. This is
Was you
after
21?
college.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2021. And I didn't know what to do on a Sunday. Like, I was like, yo, so is one of the buses going to church? Or like,
It's one of the Badu buses going to church.
It's a group of us.
I'm gonna sit in the window seat on the way to.
Is Badu gonna lead us in worship? Like, how we
No,
gonna
I
do
literally, because through college, just to have a job, I played at a church all throughout college.
Yeah.
I mean, I played at a church until Maroon 5. Like, to be totally honest, I always kept a church job. You know, helping my dad out at that time. But I didn't know what to do on a Sunday. I was just like, all right, we supposed to, and they like, nah, it's off day,
relax.
or it's just a show day. Just chill.
Just
It's
rest.
okay.
Yeah, the Lord rested on us.
And so it was an
Because
experience.
your whole life, Sunday is church. Your
Sunday's
whole
church.
life.
Oh, my whole life.
And you're playing in church, so you're there the entire day.
Oh no, I'm fully a part of what church is on Sundays. So that was an experience. But Badu, man, she is and I think about it now because everything connects. But like the way I became a touring artist, like I couldn't afford radio at the beginning of my career and stuff. So tour was my radio. Like that was the way I got to people. But now that I think about it, that's Badu, and that's why she'll work forever. Current single, no current single, whatever. She has developed her audience, you know, to know that she's gonna be on the road and they're gonna have this experience with her every year or every other year. And I mean, I got paid on time. I mean, like,
Shout out to being paid on time.
It was a really solid, like, watching her as a true artist. It put me on my path, you know, for sure.
And
Yeah.
because she's like, she's so different.
Mm-hmm.
And special. And the ownership that she has with that.
Yeah.
The ownership and the confidence of there's only one.
One-on-one, man.
It is different.
Yeah.
Just like when you walk up to her and just even start talking to her, it just start getting different.
It changes immediately. The energy. Yeah, she's powerful, man.
She's got like we were talking earlier. She's got the cult.
Yeah.
I did a show with Erykah Badu.
Yeah, they'll follow.
They
weren't there for you.
They enjoyed my set.
They weren't there for you.
But they weren't there for me.
Right.
At all.
There for their leader, man.
They were there for
Man.
Yeah.
I was like, I know when I take my shirt off, it's gonna get real crazy in here. It's like,
You have incense with that.
you ain't got no incense with that. You ain't gonna burn no candle.
What are you feeding your soul?
We'll
You know what I'm
wait.
saying?
We'll wait.
Nah, so it was special, and that was the first time I ever had writer's block, because I thought I was about to be writing mad songs, but it was like all these new experiences happening all at once. It was like almost just too much, and as soon as I got off tour, that's when I started working on my first solo album, and I'm gonna get to your break question because I don't even know what my break was. It's like it was different. It was different times. I feel like I had so many of these and then coasts and then these and then coasts. But when I got off of Badu, I started writing my solo album. But then I wrote a big gospel song right after that called "Let Go, Let God" for Dwayne Woods, and it was like #1 for like 72 weeks. Like,
72 weeks.
yeah, like in the top 10 for 72 weeks.
That's
and
great.
That song really changed my life. It was the first award I won, like a Stellar. I think I was 20 something, you know. And that was a break. But then I went to Jermaine Dupri after I got off the road with Badu. I went to JD school basically, and this was after B Cox had
Went crazy.
They went crazy.
Yeah, the string of
Yeah,
massive.
like the biggest albums of all, you know, Confessions and you know, Be Without You.
All the
It's
stuff.
like, you know what I mean? B Cox was busy. You know what I'm saying? And JD needed another keyboard player, so I came in as that guy and wrote for Monica and Jagged Edge, and you know, even John Tay was working on the album at that time. And for me, so it was breaks in that, you know what I'm saying? But for me, and I think this is, you know, why I'm happy I'm talking to y'all, because my journey has been so non-traditional, you know what I'm saying? It's like people wonder how I'm able to maintain, and, you know, we just won the 4th Grammy, you know what I'm saying, this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're going
take
to
a
celebrate
sip to
that.
that. I don't know if you have a beverage.
We're going to celebrate to that.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Look over and see if
But the way I got there was so non-traditional. It's not, you know, I didn't have a huge hit record or anything. You know, I heard somebody say like I had a hit life. You know, like it's been like it's been a combination of things that has allowed me to do that, and part of that was touring, and me really understanding that there was another way. I tried to sign everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I tried to go the traditional route.
Because Young Money was your first.
Young Money was
deal,
my first and only major deal.
How did
Yeah,
that come
yeah.
up? You
Yeah, you
got
gotta
to
give it
That's what I'm saying. It's just
Like,
weird.
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
weird. So Young Money was the year after I joined Maroon 5, and
Hold on, okay. So that's some room.
This is more floss.
Yeah, it's just
4
getting crazy.
Grammys.
Nah.
Maroon 5.
It's
No
getting
flaws.
crazy.
I was
This
just
is
I was
wild.
trying
There's
to
a
tell
guy
a
in the
story.
group that I've never met, but we share the same kind of name. I think at one point me and him going to have to fight.
Oh, James Valentine.
We
Shout
got to
out to
fight
Jimmy
to
B.
the death. We got
Shout
to
out
fight
to
to the
Jimmy
death
B.
one time. You know what I mean?
Word. Well, so Young Money had way more history than people know. Me and Mac Main went to the same high school in New Orleans. It wasn't just you know, random. And at that time, when I got signed, Wayne was just getting out of jail. And they were trying to pivot as a label, like just do different things. And I think Mac, who is a huge fan of music in general,
Right.
he's a music guy, just, you know, was like, P, you want to do this? And they were on fire. I mean, this This was Drake.
Nicki hot, Drake
This was
hot.
Nicki.
Right.
This
Oh,
was Wayne.
But he
This
like
is
this
Tiger.
my man
Man,
from
Wayne
high
just
school
not
that I
getting
know
out
is
yet.
dope.
Yeah, he like just, and so what was beautiful and what is beautiful about Young Money in general that probably isn't said enough is they leave their artists alone. They just like let them go. You know, they don't say, "Oh, well, we signed Drake, so let's." I know you've been with 40, but now let's go get Tim and let's go get this producer. And they like, nah, y'all just keep doing what y'all doing, and we gonna put steroids on it.
Yeah.
Nicki, you like doing different voices and just keep doing that. They don't feel the need to. They sign things that they believe in already.
Right.
So
Right.
like I literally, they didn't hear my record until it was mixed and mastered, and it was just support there. I mean that was my first Grammy nomination as a solo artist.
Your
But that
first
was
album.
even random. That was random, Well, my first official album was after Erykah Badu. So it was years.
Mm-hmm.
This is years. This is 05. This is 05 when I released my first independent record. And that's after I couldn't sign to any major label.
Got you.
So I had to figure it out. I didn't know that there was another way.
Yeah.
And I had to study like
So did you do the
white
run?
rock bands.
Did you do the run? Did you go to every label and you
Yeah,
got
I
your
did.
demo in hand?
Oh man, I did all the showcases.
Because we need.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
At R&B Money, at
Yeah.
R&B Money Podcast, we like to give all the information. We like to
Right.
let them know that this isn't an overnight thing.
No.
This is a life thing. Like
Yeah.
you said, you trying to have a hit life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
these are the things that sometimes are just looked over.
Yeah.
People don't really tap into that disappointment. That going to, or somebody said they got an uncle that work at such and such label, and maybe they can get me a meeting.
So many dreams.
And
Yeah.
it's a constant dream.
It's a constant
and there are
dream.
so many dream sellers
Yes.
who are actually nightmares.
Word.
Wow.
No, I literally went to every label. Like me and my attorney, we went to, I think, every label. I mean, I remember sitting down with just about everybody, doing showcases, people saying, yo, I love this music. I just don't think it's going to work, and like, it was too musical. I heard it all, and so in my mind, I was like, that marketing mind too. I'm like, okay, what does this mean? Like, how can I get my music direct to people? And like, it was way before independence was like cool.
Even anybody knew what that was.
Yeah, when you were indie at this point, it was because you couldn't get a deal.
Yeah.
Get a deal.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so, and I didn't even go to an indie label. I said, okay, how do I do it? So it was
I
CD
do it?
Baby. It was MySpace. It was like, you know what I'm saying? My first tour was based off of my sales for CD Baby. I said, well, I'm going to go to these cities. And the promoters, this is a funny story, but the promoters didn't know who I was. They didn't know who I was because I was like underground famous. Right? But I knew I had fans. But since they didn't, I said, don't just pay me off the door. You don't have to pay me anything. I'm going to bring everything. And I borrowed my mom's bus. I just signed my first publishing deal with Famous Music.
Shout out to Famous.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was signed to Famous too.
Word.
Shout out to Ira Jaffe.
Ira is my
Brian
as my guy.
Pastel.
Yeah.
man.
Billy signed me
Calloway.
and left. Yeah.
Yeah.
BC signed me and then he went somewhere else. But that's my guy. He's the first to believe that way. And Ira literally had an open door policy. You know what I'm
Ira's
saying?
my guy, man.
And looked out for me. But I took literally my whole advance and said, I'm not trying to be a writer like that. I'm an artist. And I took my whole band on tour. I'm talking about horns, 14 people.
With the publishing money.
With the publishing
Okay.
money.
Okay. Invest in yourself.
Dog.
Yeah.
Like I've always been a maniac because if I think about that now, it's like, yo, what were you doing?
He was out of control.
But
Yeah.
literally those 14 places I went, I could go for the rest of my life, even today. But I couldn't afford a tour bus. My mom had a Women of Excellence bus. That was her women's ministry at the church.
You took the church bus.
I took the church bus. I took a charter bus that
To
was
sell this R&B.
that was purple,
As you should.
pink, and white. They thought a women's conference was pulling up to these clubs.
What?
But I didn't care, dog. I literally
get it.
didn't. I didn't
Had
care.
to
I
get
had
it.
to get to it.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. I'm like, I paid my boys nice. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, y'all, we on tour.
We eating.
You know what I'm saying?
y'all eating?
Yo,
At least.
they eating.
Y'all eating. At least
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about how long I didn't eat from that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always kept a job where I could be flexible, playing at church, and as a producer and a writer. That's why I was still in that game, was because I needed to fund what I really cared about. But we went on that tour, and literally like those markets, Atlanta and Birmingham and like Charleston, I still go to those places and have a following because of 10 plus years ago when I kind of like invested in myself, you know, for better or worse. It was just like, you know, it really got me to this place.
And what kind of rooms were those? Like how many people?
Oh my God. Well, I can remember us playing Columbus, Ohio, and it was like 20 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, whoa, this is, because we at least at Atlanta, we had a little vibe.
You got a door deal.
Yeah.
For
so
20 people.
So I lost on that one. I took a loss on that one.
Yeah.
And then some of the rooms were 200 people, you know what I'm saying, or 100 people. And we put on a show like it was 10,000 people.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about I had 3 background singers. I had 3 horns.
You got more background singers than the crowd.
Yeah. No, my band was bigger than the crowd. Yeah, facts. Like,
Wow.
but I did not, man, it's so crazy how I didn't care at all. Like, I didn't care at all. I didn't care that I was spending my money. I just really felt sure that if I just stay here, you know, it would click. And so that kind of has been the story. So I was on a tour of mine for another album called Walk Alone, and Adam Blackstone called me and was like, yo, Maroon 5 looking for a keyboard player, singer. You know, I told him I only know one. Like I just threw your hat, you know, your name in the hat. And I was like, okay. They wanted me to audition. I canceled the last 3 dates of my tour and came to LA. And all they did was ask me to learn Sunday morning. I was like, okay. Sunday morning, rain is falling. Huh?
Were you familiar with the group?
Yeah, I was a fan. This Love and stuff, I feel like that was maybe my like freshman year of college or like sophomore year. So I knew I was hip to This Love Has Taken Its. I was like, these boys are nice. So I knew that, right? Mm-hmm. I knew Sunday morning, but I had never auditioned before. This is my first audition in life because it was always word of mouth. They like, I know, right? These guys didn't know me at all. And so Blackstone was just vouching. And so I came to LA, played Sunday morning, and we just vibed. I kind of knew I had it immediately because of the vibe, not because anybody could play.
But you just
right?
y'all got right into it with each other.
Yeah, and so we started jamming. It was like, what else you know? I was like, well, what you
want to do?
You tell me.
Yeah.
And we went too long, and they had people waiting, so we had to stop people to audition. And then they had a second day of auditions that they ended up canceling, and called me that night, you know. And it's been, it'll be 13 years in July, you know, like 12 plus years that I've been with Maroon, and that really changed my life. But it also freed me up to really make the art I want to make.
Really make the art you want to make.
Because I didn't have to sell records.
Pressure.
I didn't have to sell records. Yeah. And so Young Money was my last kind of attempt at the normal way. Mm-hmm. You know, like I was like, all right, let me try this one more time. And when Young Money didn't necessarily fit, you know, and on the Young Money album, I did double duty with Maroon. I opened up for Maroon 5. Kelly Clarkson, you know, was before Maroon, and then I closed with Maroon 5. And then we did that in Europe. I opened Robin Thicke, and then I closed with Maroon 5. So those guys, and I think the reason I'm still there is because they've always fully supported me, like fully, like whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, true friends. And so I told them, and we told each other, you know, if I never have to leave, I don't why, you know, like we family at this point. But that really allowed me to, you know, like be myself and fully make it without any pressure. Mm-hmm. Allowed me to, and then so I left LA and went to moved back home to New Orleans. Maroon had played Jazz Fest in 2013, and I started seeing my city way different. I'm like, oh, it is kind of fly. Like, I didn't remember it. Like, it was just a totally different perspective. Mm-hmm. I had been around the world at that time, so I'm like, damn, this look like south of France. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. And so that planted that seed. And then, I decided I was leaving. This was right. I don't know if that was your room, but in North Hollywood, you remember I had that studio next to you off of Magnolia? Was that your actual room? I didn't remember. Yeah. Adonis was at the end.
We had
McCall.
Yeah.
I was next to you for like a year, probably, I guess. That was my little room.
You were.
Yeah, I was right next to y'all. Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
you know what? Because I brought it up as in joking form about James Valentine, but you actually were instrumental in us figuring out a PRO mishap.
Oh wow, okay.
Because like somehow ASCAP was getting James Valentine and J Valentine mixed up and was holding up both of our money, and you were the only person that I even knew remotely that could get to Maroon 5.
I kind of remember that.
And I remember
yeah.
I stopped you one day and I'm like, hey dog, I know this about to be some different shit, but
Yeah.
if you could tell your
that's
homie,
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, you
But
you
in that
absolutely had
room, I started writing Gumbo, like my album Gumbo. And I was like, I knew I was gonna leave LA though. And so but in that room, I remember writing this song First Begin that really kicked off everything. So I moved home and I didn't want to do music at all. I'm like, yo, I'm straight. I'm cool. I'm in Maroon 5. Not bad. You know, I did okay.
We're doing all right.
I'm
I did
surviving.
all right in life.
I'm
So like, you
surviving.
know what I'm saying? It's
Things
like we tried the solo thing. You know what I'm saying? At that time, it's like I
Yeah.
said 05. So it's like at this time, you know, it's probably 7 years in, 8 years in of trying. If you count my group in 02 in college, then we talking about like a long time
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
Just trying, just keep like getting knocked down and saying, you know, all right, let me go back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, I'm done. And then I got back to New Orleans and it was like no expectation. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just make one more thing. And I'm not gonna worry about radio. I'm gonna just make what I wanna make.
Yeah.
And that was supposed to be the last album. That was Gumbo. And that kind of changed everything. It connected. I don't know what happened differently outside of timing and like, you know, it's like one of my favorite books by Malcolm Gladwell is The Tipping Point.
The tipping point, yeah.
But the key, the underlying title to The Tipping Point is small things that make a big difference, right? So it's nothing. I didn't really do nothing different. Like
Do
I'm like,
you maybe feel like you were in such a good place in terms of being accomplished? Like you didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about living, eating, none of those things.
Yeah.
To where you were able to
You were clear.
truly dial into yourself.
Yeah.
Unapologetically, because like you first thing you said, you wasn't thinking about radio.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about vendors. You're not thinking about anything. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna make this music.
Yeah.
And
No, no, I know that has a lot to do with it. But what I mean is I still just made it right there. It's not like I didn't go to the different big label. I was on Young Money, the album before. This one I'm back indie. I said, yeah, I'm gonna just release it, you know, Morton Records. I'm gonna make, and like, man, it just changed.
we're just connected.
And I was like, wait, all I had to do was be myself all this time. Like, dang.
Be yourself.
But that's so
It's
much
hard to-
easier said than
It's
done.
easier said than done
Yeah.
because as artists or songwriters, producers, whatever, coming up in the game, you're kind of misled by these examples of success that you're constantly trying to share space with, and within trying to share that space, you're kind of like biting in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, what made that dope? Okay, let me do something like that.
Right.
Kind of like, and let me grab a piece. And you're never truly yourself because you keep looking at and what the label's going to expect for you to do and what
That's what's
radio's going to
encouraged.
expect for you to do and what all these people are going to expect for you to do, because as that lives in the marketplace, you want to live also in the marketplace. And
You want to.
you
yeah.
want to
Naturally, right?
because you want to make, you want to be
Naturally.
successful. Well,
Yeah,
quote unquote successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nobody ever speaks to, you know, truly the success of originality until after the fact.
They don't believe until after.
They don't believe until after
breaks
the
my
fact.
heart. It
Yeah.
breaks my heart. God did, you know what I'm saying? But what I had to learn was that it's okay for me to have a different business model. Cause see, when you focus on the wrong things, you don't know that you're making more money than the person who is looking like they making more. And like
that.
you don't know that you have more. I'll let them fool me and let a label buy half the tickets for your show. and make me think like you sold that out. And I actually sold it out.
You actually
so the
sold
smoke and mirrors was even getting me even knowing. Yeah. And I got nothing but all my friends. I mean, you know, rest in peace, my brother LaShawn, but like he used to want to just give me one. Yeah. He like, P, just you could do whatever you want. Just let me give you one. I said, but LaShawn, what if that's the one that works? And I don't want to
always
be
have to
him.
live there.
You know what I'm saying? And I had that foresight where it's like, you know what? I want that, LaShawn. Let's go and write it for somebody else. I'm going to just do me and I'm going to sit here. But when I saw the Dave Matthews and that it was possible, it just wasn't really taught or shown in black music. You know what I'm saying? It was always, we needed someone. And so I started to come up with this business model that just looked different, you know? And
back to the market.
And then the tools started to catch up with me.
Yeah.
Social media came and like, an empire came where I could, it's like, oh, wait, I could have distribution for real. You know what I'm saying? And even my PR, all this stuff came at the same time. And it just changed. That was the Grammy year. I was against Bruno. I knew I was going to lose. I was just having a good time. But I'm like, what Bruno did for that category was make people pay attention to me. They're like, who is this dude in here with him? And that was 2017, something like that. I've been to the Grammys every year since then, like 6 years in a row, and it's literally because of what. Cheers, cheers. No, but like I'm not even supposed to be there, you know, as an independent. I'm not even supposed to compete. You know that didn't exist before.
I don't think that's true.
It didn't exist before, is what I'm saying.
No, because I think the Grammys has always been a place where, out of nowhere,
something left the center.
This trumpet player wins best something. You're like, who?
The only difference
how?
is labels, though. It's always been a place where labels.
That's what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not an
independent game.
Not Morton Records
Gotcha.
against
Gotcha.
RCA.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Gotcha.
And so that's what changed. And I mean, now we here. Now there's a blueprint of things that can be done. But I have to credit it all to like fan base, you know, like my community, my supporters
Fighting for you.
Yeah, I mean, I really, you know, we really tour out here. We really, you know, we really out here. Like we really out here, and you know, we playing the same venues. We, you know, as any major counterpart, any of that. You know,
talk your shit.
Yeah,
talk your
no,
shit.
you know,
Talk
in
your
love,
I'm in the same building.
In love.
In love.
In love. But
Yeah.
no,
In the
we
same-
here. You
yeah.
know, like it's really here. But what I hope people take from me is that there is another way, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be said that this is the way, but there are other ways to get there.
But they should also
different avenues.
understand the woman's van.
Women of excellence.
Women's
That's right.
excellence.
Women of excellence.
Women of excellence.
They have to understand
Oh, the
all
grind.
parts.
Oh,
they have
please.
to understand the grind. They have to understand the money might not come back. Mm-hmm. It might take some years. You might be 100
Not
down.
might, like will. If it's
you know
real,
what? Yeah.
if it's
Yeah.
real,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
I say just
gonna miss some- you gonna miss
I
some
say
meals.
put 10 in. Just tuck 10 in there from when you start for it to be something real. Like in my life, when it's something real, I think you got to put them years in, man.
Yeah.
It's really editing yourself. It's like, okay, got knocked down that time. All right, I'm gonna just change this. I'm gonna just move this.
Man.
Oh, knock down that time. All right, let's edit that. And then it was eventually you got to a place where it's like, okay, this is working,
Found it.
and the time is working. You know, yeah.
So is that what makes you during that time as you're pushing forward and you kind of running into certain obstacles? Is that what makes you write a book like Why Can't I Sing Love Songs?
Man, you on my
Yeah.
mind. Boy, I ought to fight up. Throw something at you.
Can't fight me, man. I'll call your mama.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, that was the argument that happened for so many years before us, you know, and continues to happen. I saw you address it even not that long ago. When
He
you was
always addresses
preaching.
something, man.
Yeah.
He won't fight me, but he'll fight the internet.
But
Ain't gonna fight the internet. Every now and
What's the
then.
title? Give me the title of the book.
why can't I sing about love?
It's
Yeah. Why can't I sing about love?
Why not?
Why? Yeah. And so what I tried to do, maybe it was my marketing mind, but all the arguments, and listen, I had a foreword from my pops, which meant a lot to me. And 3 quotes. It was Bishop Jakes, Al Green, and Aretha Franklin were the 3 quotes for my book. Because I felt like Al and Aretha really fought that fight. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And but it still hadn't been resolved. So what I wanted to do was take scripture and address everything. This was different than I'd ever seen. It was like personal opinion. Oh, you can't serve 2 gods. And it was like stuff taken out of context. Serve 2 masters. Stuff taken out of context. And I was really just like, okay, so how do you tell me, unless these are arranged marriages, you know, like they do in some places, how do you get from I like this girl to I want to marry this girl and have babies? And like, how do you get there?
How do you get there?
And why is it wrong for me to talk about the process of you getting there? Or why is it wrong for me, if God created the sky and it's blue, why can't I write a song about the sky being blue? Why is that a secular song? And how is that against?
How is it
he's
somehow
so
the
huge.
devil connected to it?
What? Yeah, how is it not him? You know, and so I'm like, well, who talks about this process? You know, my dad made a joke, you know, like he don't want to listen to Amazing Grace when he would. So who is supposed to create that?
Listen, my brother.
Who is supposed to create that? And I made it I asked some very simple questions. And in there, you know, people always say, you know, faith comes by hearing, right? And faith comes by hearing, even if you hear the wrong thing over and over, too.
Absolutely.
You know, you can have faith in that thing. And my dad in the foreword said he was wrong. That's just what he was taught over and over, and it's flawed. You know what I'm saying? And so I really started to. They lied to us, man, and they had to get free. You know,
and it's like you just said. It's like it's what's been taught.
Yeah.
Over and over and
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? What's funny is that, like, I'm not gonna say the names, but the music, I was so churched out that the music that only made sense for me during that kind of make out time was commissioned.
Man, here he go.
I Am Here sounds like is a love song.
It's an R&B record.
It's an R&B record.
Oh no! All them records, they were.
They were speaking from God's
so
perspective.
Crazy though. I never was. Right. Like it was really.
I was. You know what I'm saying? Because
I get it.
That's all I knew.
You were trying to get as close as you can.
Running back to you is Jodeci.
It's so.
Yeah.
When I finally got out on the road, and I'm gonna ask you about, because I wanted to ask you about this with you going out with Erykah Badu. Mm-hmm. When I got out on the road with Genuine, and in that tour, I felt like I learned more about myself in those 5-6 months than I had ever learned about myself inside of those 4 walls. Mm-hmm. I felt like I'd really experienced life as a man.
Yeah.
And it tormented me for a while. You know what I mean? Because of all the things that I was indulging in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it all felt like the devil based off what I was taught. This is all the devil.
Yeah.
Not understanding that it's what you do with that access that can make it detrimental or evil in a sense. But to love a woman, or women for that matter, God made woman. Mm-hmm. And when he finished, he said, "It is good."
Yes, he did.
You understand what I'm saying? He meant for me to say the same thing. When I finish making woman.
All right, okay.
He said, "Whoa." Yeah. If I could bring it back to the Lord. See,
when you start doing that, that's when it's a little pimpish. That's when it switch on. That's what you can always tell by the fingers where it go from preacher to pimp.
I'm gonna interject in a minute.
Yeah.
Hey, get it in, brother. You understand what I'm trying
When it get tight and loose, and then it's get a little pimpish.
Do you feel good? Do you feel me is on the way?
Yeah. Stay focused.
You just couldn't tell me that, and then in finding my balance, you know what I mean, and just being settled in, because I was me where I am now was prophesied to me by Prophet Todd Hall.
Yeah.
He told me this is where I would be. This is where I was supposed to go.
Yeah. And
then I had a youth minister at the time who told me, "I hope you fail so you can come back to this church and do what God told you to do."
Horrible.
Doesn't
sound like God at all.
I
hope you fail. Man,
I hope you
my
fail.
God. Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was all of that, and finally finding my own settlement, you know, with the Creator, and understanding that opportunities like this to do what I love, to sing from my heart. My first song that I ever wrote was just my life. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to become anybody else or do it. I wrote my life on a napkin.
Yeah.
And now I'm all over the world being able to sing, and people are walking up to me like, man, your song changed my life. Amazing. Man, I'm back with my woman. Man, me and your wife, my wife loves you so. We had a baby. Like, I'm like, this is life. Mm-hmm. The creator's in charge of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my question to you was, your first outing on the road with Erykah Badu, right? Completely opposite from the church gig.
Right.
Did you feel a way in your spirit being out?
Well, I told you I felt uncomfortable on Sunday. That was first.
For sure, yeah.
But you got to remember, I went to Morehouse. I was in that AUC for 4 years before.
Oh, yeah,
got you.
Already.
Okay, you had already. You had done some stuff. Got it.
Freak.
Got it. Yeah.
Nah, I mean, Atlanta was you know what I'm saying?
I missed the college experience.
Yeah. So that was, and thankfully, honestly, I didn't have to wild out. My dad, I think because my dad came from such a strict environment, he did not. I didn't have a curfew. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was a musician by 15, I was doing gigs. I was always with the older guys. And so my dad gave me just enough rope. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tried that one time and it came in at 4, and he was like, okay.
Come on now.
Nah. That's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But he really gave me that. Like, and so when I got to Morehouse and these guys were going nuts, I was like, I ain't have to go nuts.
Okay.
Because I kind of had a freedom a little bit.
Got you.
That was not, even the fact that my dad supported me with R&B and all of that. Like, I had to get over that hump for him to know that it was a real thing. But my dad was pretty rare in the space. Mm-hmm. He freed a lot of other preachers.
Probably more progressive than
He freed a lot, and partly probably because he was a musician. My dad was supposed to be signed to Atlantic back in, they wanted him to be Al Green's nemesis, for lack of better words.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so my dad understood music. He understood the love and the passion for it. So he gave me some grace, with that. And so because I think when you talk about like how you use whatever it is, it can be evil or not. I think all that suppression that happens in church, all of that lockdown and like right, it causes for like perversion eventually, because it's like, I got to get out. And now I'm about to do it even crazier. I'm about to go even crazier because you locked me up.
I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah,
I want 10 of those.
I need 10 of those.
Yeah.
But listen, I was out with G. Whatever he's not using, I'll use it.
Yeah,
just cut me in or cut it out.
Just throw it.
How far can this $30 get me?
How far can this $30 get me?
Yeah.
Cinnamon.
Yeah. How much for one rib?
Cinnamon.
The love of your life. What's up? Yeah.
I just
but yeah,
I think that's such an important topic.
Yeah.
Like that, and that book title, like you got to run that back. Like you have to run that.
I kind of wrote it before. I wasn't an author. It's like,
but
I don't know what I was thinking.
But it's profound in so many people that come from our space and our place.
It helped a lot of people, and I had written a song with my band Freestyle Nation called "Why Can't I Talk About Love?" But when I started to write the book, I was like, nah, nobody have a problem talking about love. Y'all be cool. You be talking about, oh, my wife, ain't she fine? In church, whatever, all of that, right?
I can't sing about it, though.
But when it becomes a song, then it's like, it's wrong. It's like, that is so weird. It's so weird. And that's what let me know that it was flawed. Because I'm like, it just don't make sense. How can you talk about it and it's cool? And you could literally talk about anything that's going on in your life.
We
but
have
if
the
it's
pastor
not a
and
gospel
wife's
song,
anniversary. That's an actual service. We're here celebrating the pastor and wife's anniversary.
Yeah,
it should be some R&B.
I mean, they gonna do something later.
Yeah. So
you know what?
Yeah.
We need to figure out the history of that. Who outlawed music,
Love songs
and love songs early on? That was just like, you know what? Nah, y'all not getting this off.
Yeah.
I gotta figure out.
Things were just misconstrued, because when you talk about Lucifer in the Bible, he was kicked out. He was in music. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like that made a separation, but it was like, nah, you're not gonna take the sacred stuff too. You like this love and this life, being able to tell your story, whatever that is considered a secular song. But I don't see how that goes again. And so Stevie was always my thing. I was like, wait, this wrong? Like, wait.
But yeah, you gonna tell
Ain't
Stevie?
nothing wrong about what Stevie
Is that
You gonna tell
that's
Stevie
wrong
that
too? I'm like, oh,
he
I
out
don't
of
know.
pocket? Speaking of Stevie,
Yeah. Tank thinks Stevie can see.
I know he can see.
A lot of people. No, wow, no,
He said, I know.
no is pretty strong.
Stevie can see in what is it with the
Morse
submarines
code?
use
Morse code?
Oh, like the sonar.
Sonar.
Oh wow,
Stevie can see in
With his,
sonar.
with his ears.
This a real this
It's
a
a
real
real
theory.
thing. Because I say that
he has
because
a real theory
I say
about
that because
sonar.
Stevie hears so well, right? To where like a lot of when you're blind, you know when you're coming close to a wall because of the sound.
Your senses are heightened. Your
Yeah,
other ones,
but
yeah.
if you talk, you can hear it bouncing back to you like differently. You can hear when there's an opening.
Listen,
like
he's really studied.
No.
So are you saying all blind people can sonar?
I'm
They
saying
don't have ears like Stevie.
I mean, but think about this.
It's breaking down already.
Think
Yeah.
about. Stay with me.
I'm
Think
with you.
about-
I'm with you. I'm trying to go.
Think
Okay.
about what Stevie is writing about.
Yeah.
And how honest it feels, right? And so, has Stevie ever said to you, "I had a dream about," and has given you play-by-play of a dream?
No.
I wonder if anybody has a play-by-play of a Stevie Wonder dream.
I wonder
and I
if
bet
you
you
can-
it's spot on.
I think he is messing up us getting Stevie to come to the podcast.
No, because I'm
And when
gonna
he
ask
comes,
him
he's
these
probably
questions.
gonna punch Tank.
Stevie is a clown, though, so he'll
gonna
take
go-
all the.
he
He
gonna-
gonna go right with you.
he gonna run
Oh,
with
he
it.
gonna go right with you, like fully.
Yeah,
He gonna
I
be
see you, nigga.
He gonna say, "Good to see you." Yeah.
But he'll honestly have to tell me different because of the way he writes and describes things.
so
It's
vivid, so vivid. Yeah,
It's so
I mean,
vivid.
Yeah, he
People
paints.
who can see have not done what
Not
Stevie
even close.
Wonder has done.
It's true.
Not even close.
It's true. It's true.
Not even
So I could be wrong, but Stevie can see something.
close. You see, I could be wrong,
But he can.
Stevie can see
not
something.
not maybe. Yeah. What you? Wow.
Because there are rumors
Yeah.
that Stevie takes pictures of people, that
Yeah.
Stevie FaceTimes people.
Stevie definitely FaceTimes. I mean, that's no question. But I think I don't know. I can't speak for
Wait,
the
what
man.
do you mean that's no question, though?
Did he
No,
FaceTime
Stevie
you?
has FaceTimes me.
Yeah.
I mean, he has FaceTime me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
does
Many
that-
people,
how
all
does
my
that
friends.
go?
Because before he FaceTimed me, Warren used to tell me, yeah, Stevie FaceTimes. I'm like, nah. And then Stevie FaceTime me.
So here's the question, the $1 million question.
Yeah.
Why is he FaceTiming if he can't
You would
see?
have to ask him. You would have to ask
Why
him.
don't he just call you?
Why don't he just
I think-
it's the same sound?
I,
Or is it
he
not?
is pressing.
Y'all might be proving Tank's theory, man.
No, he I think he might be default set
Falling
to,
back together.
to FaceTime.
why?
You
Just
feel
falling
like
back
you
together.
feeling like
listen,
you
listen. Not the how.
Why?
The why.
Why hasn't anybody? Who knows? That's
Why
a great
is
question.
he FaceTiming instead of calling?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
He
That's great.
He would be.
yeah.
He would be troll
Last
number
time,
one
but-
if he's FaceTiming to be funny. He would
Yo,
be troll out of this world.
I wouldn't put it.
You wouldn't put it.
I would, cause that's his vibes, man. He is all about them jokes. That would be funny where he like, no, FaceTime instead of call, you know. But I don't know. He showed me something last time he FaceTimed me though to show me where he was.
So he would. So he would have.
Yeah,
right.
he was telling
So
me
tell
like
you
I'm
truth.
stuck here. He
just
asked
wanna
me,
show
can
you
I
where
see?
I am.
Did he say? Did he say?
said,
Do you see what I see?
Did he?
No.
Did he?
No. He didn't
he-
say, "Do you see
Did
what
he-
I see?" Because he can't. No, he said, "Can you see where I'm at?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah, you ain't gonna. This is my guy. You ain't gonna get me caught up. No, he would never say, "Do you see what I see?" I don't think he would say that.
Stevie, I don't want to fight, bro.
No,
Stevie-
and Stevie
I already heard you
is a
got
big
hands.
dude.
Listen,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
a
about
big
to say,
dude. No, he's a big dude.
Stevie's a big
Ray
dude.
Walker Jr. told us about how
he
Oh, I
beat-
did
I
hear
used to be
that.
putting hands on niggas.
Yeah.
I don't want no smoke.
Okay,
Nah,
so
nah.
here's the other phone question, and we're done with it. Did he, when he says I'm stuck here, does he wave the phone around so you can see
He
what's
did.
going
He
on?
wanted me to see. So wait, he didn't. But He knows that he's on FaceTime. At
I
that
got
point,
it. I'm just saying, is he waving the
showed me
phone
where.
around like you can see
I can
exactly
see
what
where he
you
was at.
need to see? Wow.
yeah.
Did you saw what he saw?
Nah, I saw what he showed me.
Okay.
I saw what he showed me.
And you're
yeah.
gonna be responsible for getting Stevie up here.
Oh
so we
yeah,
can have
man.
this
He would love.
conversation.
He would love
It has to happen.
He would love.
And
Man,
you
that
have
would be
to be
so
here
epic.
when we have it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That's my guy, man. He really. I mean, it's a dream come true. I still show people when Stevie Wonder's calling my phone and stuff.
That's crazy.
I'm still there.
Yeah.
I don't want to really get any more comfortable.
No.
Like when
Yeah.
you know, my wife will be like, Courtney, you know,
Wow.
see, it's crazy. It's like I gotta go take this.
Hey, Stevie.
But I did.
Stevie.
Oh dang! I got
you
a
wonderful.
story. He didn't know this. This is so funny though, because he FaceTimes though. I was getting dressed and about to get in the shower.
Oh shit.
I was about to get in the shower, and I'm like, getting in the shower. I said, oh, shoot, Stevie calling. I'm butt naked. I was just, and I'm like, Stevie. I'm like, Stevie can't see me. So then look me. I'm like, blang, butt naked. Steve, what's up? Stevie, he didn't know this. I'm sorry, Stevie. But I was butt naked talking to Stevie. This is a fact. This is a fact. Waiting to get on the shower on the edge of the bed, like Steve. What's up, man?
If Stevie would have said, you know, that's inappropriate. Man.
Yeah. Oh
You need to
man.
put
See, he
something on.
didn't.
Hey,
That's how I
PJ,
know.
put your goddamn
That's how I
clothes
know.
You out of pocket, man.
Come on, man. You didn't went too far. But man, no, dream come true. I mean, he's really big. He's the reason I'm doing this. There's no question. Like, he's the reason I want to play, sing, and write songs. And like the fact that I have a real relationship with Stevie Wonder
Out of
is
control.
is like on my list of accomplishments. Just goes far beyond like any award or any that. Like the fact that I have a relationship with him and can call him. He like when he was FaceTiming me, he was telling me he was missing my LA show and said he was coming to San Diego. I'm like, not the same thing. You don't have to come to San Diego. And he pulled up to my San Diego show, got up when he wanted to in the middle of my show, talked to the people and like told them that he was there because I was his friend. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
so
amazing.
like, bro, I don't need much more, you know, for real. Hit life. You know what I'm saying?
hit
It's like,
life.
Hit life.
Hit life, man. But he's been really instrumental. He was on this last album of mine. I got him and Nas on a song together, which was like
Out of control.
crazy. But it was because I was working on his album, which we have a duet on his album. Whenever that comes
With
out.
Nas?
With Stevie.
Stevie, yeah.
Called Where Did All Your Happy Go? Crazy, man. He's still
know
doing
y'all
it.
cutting,
He's
too. I
still
know y'all
doing it.
chopping
He's still
on there.
doing it. Yeah. So, but that's really on my list, man. It's like that's just the ultimate for me, that I have a true relationship with him.
You got, bro, I mean, I think you've cut through in a way that, you know, thank you for being here first, because like just that alone, giving the young folk who are really gifted and really talented another option,
Yeah.
another way. You know what I mean? Just getting back to the people, man.
Yeah.
You can never lose if you get to the people. You said Gainesville and
Man, getting to
and
it,
Charleston, South Carolina, and Chattanooga. Like, that's real.
That's real people. That's real people, man. And I just believe that you can get to them another way and also have your version of success. And also just what success is. I think we've got to redefine it.
Yeah.
I think the buildings are having a problem with redefining it. I think the industry in general are having a problem because the old way was worked so much. But they're having
did it.
Right.
But did
right,
it?
Did it. Well, it was controlled, right? It was like, we got these many stations. We got ABC, we got NBC, we got ABC. You
And
know what
now
I'm
it's
saying?
not
You're going to play
adding up.
SNL. You're going to play.
Yeah.
Now you could play those places, and my IG Live could have more than your viewers.
Adding up, you
know
got
what I'm saying?
you got a
But it's-
number one
it's hard
record
to
over
wrap
here.
your
You
head
can't get
around
300
that.
people in the room.
Yeah, and when you, come on, man, that's what I'm saying. Like that's real rap, and so I think we've got to redefine what success is for real, for real.
Yeah.
I'm
Real
not talking about
success.
personal. I'm not talking about I'm successful because this is. No, I'm talking about like actual success. Like, I could have more fans than you. Like I could be bigger than you and do it another way. Like actual success. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think we just got to continue to redefine that. You know, because the powers that be would like you to still believe that they the same.
Hold all the
we can
cards.
do it. I can make you a star. Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Another thing that you said that was really important that I pray nobody looks over is that you created other streams of revenue to keep yourself going.
Yes.
And you weren't
sure.
fighting under that pressure. And Tank, you know, he doubled down on that when he spoke about even before you get into Maroon 5, when you're still playing in the church.
Every Sunday. Yeah.
Like, don't, as they say, don't quit your day job
Yep.
No.
until it becomes your day job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when this thing takes care of you and your family, if you have kids at the time, or if you taking care of somebody, if it does that, yes, now you can go and this is your this is what you're doing every day and all day and focusing completely on. But until that, you have to have something that takes care of your life,
100.
that takes care of you. Because when you're working under the pressures of how am I going to eat today,
Yeah.
it's a really tough
hard-
spot to
it's
be
hard
in.
it's
And
hard
I've
to
watched
clear.
a lot of artists, great artists, break down because their ego was too big to get a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they never got their shot because their ego was too big to say, hey, man, I'm working this gig until something take off for me
Yeah.
and supplements this income.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's got to be strategic. You know, I think we talk about the dream so much, but sometimes you got to have an actual strategic plan to make that happen. And that's for me, you know, I was blessed enough to have like a church gig where I'm playing once a week so I could move around, or being a producer or writer and, you know, finding some success in that and being able to, you know what I'm saying, cushion that. But I put all my money right back in.
Right back in.
You know what I'm saying?
That's another piece that's very
what
important.
I need people to understand. I was
yeah.
like, even when you saw me, even at a point where people may have thought I was successful in the sense of, oh, you touring, you going crazy, you see my band and my this,
It's going right back out.
Yeah, it's going right back out. And I understood that. That's why I kept another thing. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, and this is actually what every part of your team and every part of your career, because some people think, I got to go get an agent, I got to go get a manager, I got to go get PR. It's like, what do you publicize?
Right.
Like you don't have nothing to feed them. You know what I'm saying? And you want to spend this a month. So like slow down and do everything you can. I say the biggest blessing with me not getting a major deal and all of that stuff was I had to learn everything. I had to learn. I mean, I drove the van. You know what I'm saying? I came up with the merch. You know what I'm saying? I figured out the door deals, you know, and
I need
understood
a
how
gumbo
that
hoodie, man.
how that. Oh yeah, I got you.
You got one
man.
somewhere?
Yeah, I
I
gotta
need
get
one,
y'all.
man.
Yeah, I gotta get
Come on,
y'all
let us
some
rock some
gumbo gear.
gumbo
I'm
hoodie.
tripping.
Come on,
I'm
man.
tripping. Y'all been supposed to have that. But like it made me learn every aspect of the business, so people couldn't just tell me anything once I was there.
Yeah.
So it's like
knew what it really
I say,
cost.
don't add this agent until you know what your agent is supposed to do and know why you need the agent.
Some
Yeah.
some
You know what I'm
people
saying?
because they think if I get an agent, they're
That's
just going
gonna
to
get
put
me
me out on
cracked.
the
It's done.
road.
It's done.
No,
No.
that's not how
No,
it works.
that's
These
not
people
how it
have to
works.
want to see you.
Yeah. Yeah. So we really got to educate, man. I feel like I was the last generation of like some people still giving game, you know what I'm saying? And this newness. But I think we got to get that. We got to just kind of teach it. Well, that's why I appreciate this, man. Y'all
That's
really
why we here.
I mean, I'm really hearing game when I listen to this podcast, man. I appreciate y'all. And I think it's no accident that it's like taking off at the speed it has, because it's like when there's a need that's not
a
being met.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People like, oh shoot, I was just waiting for the well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And y'all are
No, I
doing
appreciate
that. So
that, man.
Yeah,
For
for
sure.
real, man.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
You sound like you loading something up, man. What you doing over there,
Clearing
man?
your throat.
What you
Morning.
Oh, I see red lights coming on.
Top 5.
Oh my God.
Your top 5 PJs. Top 5.
Okay.
Your top 5.
All right, top 5.
Oh, your top 5. R&B songs and
Song.
R&B artists. Your
Ooh.
top 5. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Wow.
I'ma just take my time.
Yeah.
Take your time, man.
We got time tonight.
But just get up there. Oh, just
If I stay,
make it a little more major for me.
You don't want me
Oh man.
Got a little
Your
scratch
top
cut on it.
5
Okay.
R&B artists.
Oh, artists. Okay.
Yes.
Stevie. Aretha Franklin. Michael. And Prince was everything, but Prince, you know. Who would be my 5th R&B artist? Because, you know, it was like soul music from, you know, it was like the soul and R&B differ sometimes for me. But I have to say Jodeci probably for my 5th. Yeah.
Come on.
Because
come on.
just
Come on,
because of
talk to
how
me.
it.
Come on and talk
Yeah.
to me.
Bro. See, that's
Yeah.
I knew exactly.
Forever my lady. Why did he do that?
Dog,
Oh,
I understood it immediately.
I said,
I was
what
like,
is he
oh.
That's
doing?
just what I mean.
I
I
said,
said this-
oh, that's, yeah. I know what that is.
That's church.
Yeah, that's what I
I
think.
ain't
That's
been to
why
many
I
churches. I ain't been to many of them.
That was your church?
That was what?
Yeah.
I remember the first time.
That's what they did.
First time, because I heard Jodeci before I heard Commission.
Wow.
I didn't grow up in church.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm
makes
like,
sense.
This Jodeci. I like it.
Yeah.
But as I like studied it and I really dove into Commission, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, Blueprint.
It's
dog.
the
Blueprint.
originators of Jodeci.
Blueprint. And so many
How did
others.
they
So
hide
many
these
others.
guys from me?
Oh, man.
I was mad.
Word. Yeah.
Jodeci changed
Oh, man,
my
I got a
church
commission
life.
story, dog. I was 9.
Talk about it.
I was 9, and they came to my dad's church.
Wow.
But they
You
had
that church?
But commission. Oh, I told you my dad had to pop in church. I mean, my dad's from Windsor, from Canada. So his dad was a big bishop in Canada and Detroit. So like my dad grew up with the Winans and the Clark sisters. Their families grew up together. So it was that, right? Man, like my dad's first solo record. Do you remember Thomas Whitfield? He produced my
Yes, of
dad's
course.
solo
Yeah.
record. Commission sang background on my dad's first solo record. So like it's that.
Oh, it's
right.
deep.
Okay. Okay.
They came, dog, and I'm talking about
On which
Commission
album? On
came
which
through
album?
like this must have been the first album because I was this was like
do you
I'm going on in the name of the all that stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it had to be dun 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 dun. So they must have been there. What was that? I just hear the music right now. But anyways, dog, they had stacked amps like rock and roll. They came through there like rock stars.
Yes.
It was the loudest I've ever heard music.
Yeah.
Man, when I tell you they smashed, it was like seeing my favorite rock band. Like I remember standing by my dad's office because I guess that had to be the dressing room back. That's where they was changing, and I stood there waiting for their autographs. Dog. This is how deep it was. But man, Commission, bro, Commission, man.
Mitchell Jones.
Mitch. I had him I brought him back for my gospel album. Had Mitch and Carl and Fred on this gospel according to PJ album I did.
How do you describe Mitchell Jones? His vocal. What was that? Because it was kind of Stevie.
It was kind of Stevie.
Kind of Donnie, but it was
he
something
told me
else.
So when I got to, I gotta let you hear the song, but like it's Mitch being Mitch, right? And he told me the reason they like me and stuff is because Donnie Hathaway was like really influential, and I think Mitch was just like a combo of. I don't really know.
He was so quick.
I don't really know. And
But
he still got
he had
that.
patterns. They didn't have normal patterns.
No, I think they like.
And the crack. He had the babyface crack
Yeah.
within his patterns.
That heart.
Yeah.
That was like manufactured heart in there.
Yeah, I
You know
was
what
like-
I'm saying? Like the crack.
I couldn't figure it. I was obsessed with
They
Mr. Jones'
they
vocal.
reinvented singing though in a way. Like they you know how I say it's a few of them. It's like, you know, commission people started to sing different after that. SWV, like I remember when all the girls wanted to be Coco, right?
Absolutely.
You know, it happened with Kim Burrell. You know, it was,
Absolutely.
where everybody wanted. So sometimes that just comes along. But like Mitch, Fred, Keith, that thing was like people started singing on the side. Like they changed it.
I even asked John one day. I said, "Did you get that from Keith?"
Yeah,
oh,
what-
nephew. No, you know. I think you got that
I
from
mean,
Keith.
you know what I'm saying? They changed it, bro. We
Yeah.
wanted to be them. We
Yeah.
wanted to be them. But that was just my quick commit. I just made me think of that.
Yeah, no, thank
because
you.
I
needed
forgot.
that.
I forgot
They-
about
They
that.
didn't perform in my church, but we used to always go to all the churches in the city
Word.
and go see it. And
Wherever
that was the
they
first-
were.
Wherever they were.
Oh no,
Wherever
rock
they,
stars.
wherever they- and that was the first time I'd ever heard a track playing like.
With them. Yeah, they were ahead, man. Way ahead.
And then I was like, everybody was like, it was, and then I'm like, why did that vocal sound like that? Because they're singing "I Am Here" and it sounds like it's embodied. They had background tracks on the MP. What is happening in here?
No.
A church group?
Yep.
Never. Okay.
Game
All right.
changer. All right.
All right,
Sorry.
sorry.
Oh yeah. All
Sorry.
right.
Sorry.
So I did my five. I
You did.
my,
You did.
okay.
Yeah. Top 5
Songs is hard.
R&B songs. That's hard.
Songs is
it's tough.
hard.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Because it can just be for today with the ones your top 5 for today.
Woo. All right. So let's say, I mean, I'm just going off the top. So Donnie, since we were talking about Donnie Hathaway, I think you know, A Song for You.
Song for you.
I mean, when I heard that, I got chills. I was almost like scared too. I was like, maybe I knew his story too. I was like, this just feels eerie.
it's haunting.
Yeah, I was like,
it's haunting.
oh, it was almost like he predicted, you know.
Yeah.
So Song for You, Stevie. There's so many songs. I'd probably say an unknown joint, either Ordinary Pain or this song called Summer Soft. That song's the key of life. I got so many though, Stevie. So that, but I just
We just say Stevie.
yeah, we'll just say Stevie.
Yeah.
Shoot, R&B songs. If I'm saying Jodeci, Come and Talk to Me. Shoot, El DeBarge or DeBarge.
Come on. You gonna go air the bars? You gonna the bars? You gonna go? Or you gonna go switch?
This love. Not switch, even though I'm a fan.
Okay.
I know the brother was killing
Come on.
before, but All This Love, man,
Yeah.
it still works today.
Still.
Yes.
Still works today.
Yeah. Those words
Where
still
am I?
Four.
A fifth R&B song. Oh my God! So I'm the dummy who watches y'all podcast and say, "Don't think of yours. just wait. Like, don't prepare. I don't like being prepared. Then I feel stupid for doing that. But let's say, Can We Talk? Yeah, Tevin. I remember that.
All-timer.
I remember
It's a
that.
great song.
I remember
All-timer.
that.
It's a great song.
All timer. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You did good. You did good.
you.
We're gonna build R&B Voltron.
Okay.
We're gonna build your R&B artist. We're gonna need the vocal from somewhere, the performance style from somewhere, the styling from somewhere, and the passion from somewhere. Who are you getting the vocal from? What artist are you snatching the vocal from to make your R&B artist?
I feel like Stevie's too easy. I'm gonna say, let's say like Whitney. I just feel like I never heard Whitney sing a bad. I mean, like it was
The
always
ultimate vocal.
It's like she's the voice, you know. So I say Whitney. I say Whitney.
Too clean.
Yeah.
Too clean. Performance style on stage.
I mean, Prince, man. I saw Prince. I saw Prince a few times, and
It's different.
I mean,
Did you
when
ever see
talk
Prince
about
in concert?
performing-
I saw him once.
I saw him at concert. I saw him at the Staples Center.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We might
man.
have went to the same concert.
Probably.
Yep.
Yeah, nah, Prince I mean, like performance wise, I just used to study him, and then as a like D'Angelo was an extension of that for me. But like I saw them. Mine James was really all of them, but like Prince
Brown was
yeah.
It was something about how Prince was this like urban rock star, but also pop rock star, like all in the same kind of thing. It's like everybody
just understood it.
Everybody understood it.
For some reason. He just got to everybody. So whatever sensibilities they had, he had something that made sense to them. Yeah.
He could dance and all. Okay, all right.
I mean,
Who are you getting the styling from? Like the
vibe, like the look.
The look, yeah.
I use Prince, but no, I don't want to wear what Prince was wearing necessarily. You know what I'm saying?
You sure? Because
not as confident in my cheeks. Yeah, I'm not as confident in my cheeks, so I wouldn't want. We wouldn't want to.
You wouldn't want to be butt naked on a horse.
We wouldn't want to do that.
FaceTime and Stevie Wonder at the same time.
Child, not P in the chat apps. Nah, can't do that. So we don't want that. We don't want that. Who is just smooth? I say Marv. Let's say Marv. Let's say Marv. You know what I'm saying? Marv is always smooth.
Marvin Gaye would have pulled up with the beanie.
Come on, I gotta say Marv. I'm still styling. I'm still styling. We say Marv. Yeah.
Okay, and the passion, the heart of the artist.
The passion. I had to say Donny Hathaway. Conviction, bro. It was like
conviction.
When I heard Donnie live and I heard them people, I'm like, wait, are they in the club? Are they in church? Like I heard them, I couldn't understand it. And I think about my live albums now and stuff like that have really connected. And that's where that came from. Me understanding that you could still have the same conviction even if you singing a love song so like hands down. Donnie, man, like passion.
Yeah.
You felt it. He make me want to cry anything he say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Word.
I like that Voltron.
Word.
It's a great Voltron.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you going?
Oh no. That's the Reaper, ain't it? Oh, spooky.
Oh shit.
I ain't saying no name.
I ain't saying no name.
I ain't saying no name. I ain't saying no name. Who it was, where we been, what we did.
I never heard this rendition.
Who was weird?
I ain't saying no name.
Hey.
You know where we at.
I do.
Yeah. I'm gonna
just
give you a breakdown. No, still you get the same breakdown. I know you
Think while he breaking it down. You think while he breaking it down.
Okay.
Yeah, listen.
Wait,
you know
help me, brother.
the story.
Right.
Funny or fucked up.
Yes.
Or funny and fucked up.
Right.
In the travels of PJ Morton. The only one thing you can't do.
Yeah.
Is say the names.
Right.
You can't say no names. You cannot put a face with the case.
Yes.
This is PJ Morton's. I ain't saying no names.
All right. Dang. I be by myself so much. I'm such a loner that I haven't had a lot of experiences with. Oh, I had somebody threaten to kill me before.
That's exciting.
Shit.
Yeah. I ain't saying no names. He was like, "Yo, I'll kill you." I think I was a little green. This ain't really my story, but maybe this works.
Good.
Cause this guy's in the industry, and he was trying to work with another artist, and I was like, I didn't know him that well, but I'm like, I heard some stuff, but I was just really trying to help out a friend. I was just trying to tell this artist, like, just be careful, normal energy, like very like, not like, yo, don't mess with this dude. Yeah. And so apparently this artist told the person, and they called me, and he was like, "Man, you messing up my money?" I was like, he was like, "I'll kill you." I was like,
it went right there though.
Straight up.
That's the.
They said
like, immediate.
They said I'll kill you. Yeah, but I ain't saying no names.
What did you say in response to that?
Well, I really see. This is the thing. It's so crazy because I've been around all kinds of stuff. Like, right? Like I was signed to Cash Money. Like I was with Baby.
You've been,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I've
they
been
don't know what
around it,
you've
right?
seen.
With the bird,
They
man.
don't know what you've
But
seen.
what I always have done is like just remain consistent as a man. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm I'm the furthest thing from a street cat. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just was like, I always felt like I could talk. Like if I just talk to you, you'll understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's my like innocence, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, no, I was just trying to help her out. But I kind of disarmed him because he was like, oh, because I thought you was, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, man, like kill. You know what I'm saying? But,
Nah, man, like,
we
kill?
did have to have a middle man
Yeah.
who knew me, was like, yo, that's not him. You gotta relax. That's pretty good. I ain't said no name.
That's a good
I never said that, but I got
Anybody-
threat. He was gonna kill. I'm like, yo, this industry is different.
Yeah, you
like,
can't kill PJ.
can't-
You gotta
you want to kill me? Imagine that. You want to kill me, bro? Yeah. I thought I had another one in my head, but nah, that worked.
crazy.
That worked.
That is the music business.
Yeah,
though.
that's the music business
And listen,
Yeah.
over a woman.
yeah.
Over a woman.
in any capacity.
In any capacity.
In any
I've
capacity.
gotten that same threatening message.
That energy, right?
Same threatening energy.
I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. You want to die tonight?
Dang.
I don't think so.
Like you're gonna do it? Like
Like you're gonna do
like you're gonna kill
Like
me.
right now?
So you're gonna do it and I'm gonna die. Whatever you do to me,
Nigga told me
it's
said I
gonna
have
cost
100
me.
niggas outside right now. I said, why 100?
Why would you have so many people?
It's just
That's so
me.
aggressive to have that
No,
many people.
Y'all are hilarious.
He was mad at me for making fun of him.
Yeah.
I said, you gonna get 100 from me?
Yo, yeah, come
It's
on.
like 5 of y'all
just
already.
on paper, that is not.
That's
that,
not-
you shouldn't have to do that. just from a pure numbers perspective, that is gonna be crowded. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
I was like, bro, I don't even. He said, yeah, you gonna treat. I said, I don't think that's any of your business. Why are you like this? Oh yeah, you fucking playing with me.
yeah.
You get fucked up in here. Why?
100 is a lot.
You already know.
I'm
you
just
know
saying,
who it is.
if I'm giving any opinion on this,
I gotta
100
tell
is
that
a lot.
story. But when I gotta do I ain't saying no names, and I got to tell that story.
Oh, that's
It is
Yeah.
the funniest story.
It sounds funny.
Of, oh my God, if I
Yeah.
could say the names. Well, anyway,
You can't. You can't.
PJ, my brother.
Yeah, man.
I
Well, let's
said-
start with. I'm glad he didn't kill.
I'm so happy.
Oh no, I'm alive. I'm
so happy.
alive. He's
We're
still
so happy.
kicking out here.
Yeah. So
it's
happy.
all love. Yeah, it's all love.
Bro, you're absolutely amazing, brother.
Thank you,
And
man.
that is
Yeah,
not,
you are.
that is not
appreciate
industry
you, man.
talk. That is not fluff.
No,
That
we
is-
are fans of what you
Yeah,
do.
you are.
brother.
Thank
We are
y'all,
fans,
man.
and it makes sense, man. You put in the work, you put in the time, and you honed your gift in real places, man, in real rooms and real dirt floors, man. And really getting to the chicken, man. So that part alone, man, deserves salute and as many flowers as imaginable, man. Like I just want artists to understand, like that groundwork is real, man, and that'll be the difference in you standing the test of time.
That's it.
Being able to go into these rooms and whether it's a big room, a small room, a medium room, and go crazy.
Go crazy, yeah.
With a gift that you've perfected.
Yeah. Perform in front of 20,000.
Like 20,000.
Gotta
With a
do it.
gift that you've perfected.
Thank you, man.
Man, thank you, brother.
Thank you,
Word.
brother.
Thank
Next
you,
time,
bro.
bring a Grammy so we can at least see one
Yeah,
in
so we can
person.
see it.
Y'all
You know,
don't
I
do
got a
that.
certificate.
Don't do it. Don't do
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
I
But
don't even
Tank,
got
don't
that.
do that.
I just,
I don't even have
the
that.
whole, you know
Don't
what I'm
do that.
saying?
I ain't have that.
No, we know we both of you should have.
No, I've been
have-
nominated a bunch of
I
times.
know,
They
I know,
won't
I
give me
know.
one.
I've
No,
never
no,
been
listen,
nominated.
They won't give me one.
Listen, I lost a lot.
Did
is
I?
what
Have I
I'm-
been
you know what I'm
nominated?
saying?
I don't think I've
I've
been
been nominated. Listen, I'm just saying.
How many times you been nominated?
19 times.
Jesus
This year,
Christ.
counting this year, 3 years. I'm nominated for 3 right now.
19 nominations.
16 before that, and I won 4. So I mean, it's a lot of losses.
I've been nominated 9 times. That's how many times I've won. Well, this has to be revised.
So wait,
R&B Album of the Year everybody should get a Grammy.
Writers and producers should get Grammy.
Writers and producers should get Grammys.
I agree.
I don't know why they do R&B like that.
It's all of those. It's all of the sub.
That's not fair. It's not fair.
Yeah.
And shout out to Harvey. He's gonna help make that change. But that's
It's
not
just so
fair.
crazy. All you know what I'm saying? Like that even that journey of like where Harvey is. Yeah. No, I mean,
So I technically
yeah.
have one.
Yeah.
You got
Well,
it.
see, that's
I don't
what
have a
happened
cup.
with me. So I was. This is funny.
They know I'm gonna drink Hennessy out of mine. That's probably why they ain't gave me one.
I thought I won because Indie won Best R&B Album for that album I worked on in college. So I had been telling people I won a Grammy for 10 years until I started actually working with the Grammys and knew them. And I had to write something, and they was like, "Oh no, you never won a
So
Grammy."
did you just nullify my Grammy?
No, they just saying
No,
they
he's
just.
talking about his, because that's what he been telling people.
Oh, I'm saying, yeah, I did.
I'm saying,
I did what
yeah.
you're talking about. I did what you're talking about, and I do think that if you worked on it, you know, you were, you know, what I'm saying, you're Grammy adjacent. You have your plaque. I mean, you know what I mean. So it's
adjacent.
Adjacent.
So you live in the hood, but it's close to the nice house.
I'm saying,
Here's my question.
I wasn't trying to. That's not what I was trying to do, though. Because I do think that
this
your
is why that nigga
I
wanted
think
to
your
kill you,
contribution.
man.
No.
I was trying to help a
You work
friend.
with them people. No, you already just said it. You work with them people, right?
Not
And so-
adjacent though. I mean,
and-
you worked on
and-
it.
And so, how is it an R&B album of the year?
Yeah.
If
the
I'm
year.
not on it,
The whole year.
the whole R&B album
Yes.
consists of me, my
Yeah.
100% composition.
Yeah. No. Listen,
Without that 100%
Same.
composition, it's not a whole album.
I agree with you. But what do you want me to? You want me to lie? You want me to lie to you? You know what I'm saying? I agree with you. What you saying, and I agree
Because
I
we are in the
agree with
same
both.
boat
Yes.
in that space.
Yes.
I'm counting on you to lead the charge.
I'll fight for R&B
to
man.
making that change.
Yeah, we just, you know, they just got Album of the Year for everybody to get a Grammy that is a part of it. So I think, you know, it is growing in that direction and understanding that these things are collaborative. You know what I'm saying?
We are calling Harvey Monday.
Well, I mean, it's a busy time right now. Maybe we should probably wait till after the season a little
After the
bit.
season?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? The focus, the Grammy's just a few months away. I don't
Give
think
us
I
some
should
time.
get into it. Yeah,
You gonna stay
just
out?
let me see how it go. Let me see how it go first.
Translation, people. I'm not gonna let you fuck up my Grammy.
Yeah.
I got shit to do.
Let's see how it go first. Let's see how it go first.
You ain't up for nothing this year? Yeah, hold on. Just let me-
Yeah. Hold on, I got
I
to
I got some fresh fish on the line.
Let me get these.
Fresh fish on the
Let me
line.
get past these three. Take the. We gonna fight the power. Yeah. First thing on the docket. My first 100 days as president. Just let me
y'all
get.
marching today?
Oh, y'all boys marching? y'all boys stabilizing, ain't it?
You know they serving chicken fingers at lunch.
Okay. Y'all gonna do that before February? Y'all stabilizing? Okay, I'm gonna get with you. No, man. It's a human process, you know. So it's like it deserves to be grown.
No, I
and changed.
respect it. I respect it.
Man. We gotta let PJ out of here before we get him in trouble, man.
We'll wait.
We'll stabilize. I'll see you.
We're going to confirm your 3 this year, man.
Yeah.
You earned it. You deserved it,
No,
brother.
thank you, brother.
You
I
deserve it,
appreciate
man.
you,
And
man.
thank you. Listen, man. I'm Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority
yeah.
of all things R&B.
Better
and
know it.
we have been blessed and honored to be with this brother right here, man. The amazing PJ Morton.
My God. Thank y'all. Love.
R&B money.